All right, Coach, 1 week till Nevada.
Yeah, 1 week till game.
How you feeling?
Pretty good, actually. We stayed really healthy, and our attitude's been phenomenal. Our effort's been phenomenal. I really feel good about the team concept of this game and how important that's been. I think the players have emphasized it as much as the coaches have.
Okay, you mentioned healthy already. I mean, what's the health situation like? How healthy are you? I mean, I know there's always dings and bruises even this early.
The biggest problem we've had are guys coming back from off-season surgeries, and we've been real careful with Kelly Shepard and really careful with Jason Patterson. But they'll be ready to go on Friday night, and that's a big part of who we are on the defensive line, especially from a depth standpoint. So that's been the biggest concern. I think everywhere else we're probably about as healthy as we can be.
Okay. Offensively, I mean, you guys do what you do. You probably feel pretty good about having a fifth-year senior quarterback coming in. Defensively, what are some of the maybe new faces that or faces that are maybe in more leadership roles this year?
Well, I think having Josh Latuli-Nasanoma back just in general is a great. I mean, he's our best defensive player a year ago, and is going to be our best defensive player this year. But you add that Joe Gigantino to that mix as far as the leadership part of it. I think that Fino Elisaya, as only a junior, has stepped up his leadership qualities with the defensive line, which has been great to see. And BJ Nard, I think, has had great excitement and energy. And even though he is a fifth-year senior, he has been awarded a sixth year for next year, which is
already
good news for his future and good news for us because he really is coming on as far as a leader and a football player. So those guys in the leadership role have done a tremendous job.
So he's generally a junior, just a fifth-year junior, essentially at this
Correct.
point. Okay.
And that's all because he's had two severe knee injuries, and he's rehabbed himself to get back. And I think it's great that the NCAA is allowing him to truly play out his college football career.
Absolutely. Must have been an interesting 12 months for Dano, from last year at this time to, or even maybe 18 months, in terms of his progression. What have you seen from him this summer, this fall, and what do you expect from him coming?
Well, I just think his knowledge of the game overall, not just the knowledge of our offense, his knowledge of the game is very solid. I mean, he really has a good understanding. And one of the things about having Justin as the offensive coordinator now is the fact that he is he's seeing the game through Justin's eyes and not the offensive line coach's eyes, which is a good thing. As quarterback to quarterback, I guess, from Justin to Dano. And he really does see the game, and the adjustments he's able to make in the line of scrimmage are going to help us. Obviously, he's not 6'2", 210 pounds like Chris was, but he has his own skill set running the football as well as throwing it. So we're excited to see where it takes us this year, but he's been tremendous. His attitude promotes winning. He really promotes it.
What are you mentioned having Justin calling the plays, I assume, and so forth. What's been the biggest adjustment for you guys and also for the players in terms of losing the offensive coordinator as close to the season as you guys did?
Well, two things. Number one is the offensive line deal. To get Todd Spencer and his experience, I mean, it's incredible that he was available, and it's unbelievable that we were able to convince him to come out of retirement in Bend, Oregon, and drive down the coast to San Luis Obispo, California, and come back to his coaching roots, so to speak, and get back into college football. And he has been absolutely better than advertised in every way. He has a comment that he says, I got to get the players to drink the Kool-Aid, especially after you follow somebody that was pretty popular and intense with your players. And they've drank the Kool-Aid so far. They're totally into him. I think we're actually playing lower, faster, and stronger. And I think that we have an opportunity to actually improve there because he's 100% committed to the offensive line, not calling plays,
right,
not game planning. He's just getting ready to get these guys better, which has been a good thing. Justin, on the other hand, we'll see as far as how he calls a game. It's going to be nerve-wracking for me, I could tell you that much, let alone for him. But I want him to have success for himself, but most importantly for our players. We've set a standard about yards and points that we've been able to score the last 4 or 5 years, and we want to continue 35 points a game and 500 yards of offense per game. And if we do that, then good things are going to happen for us. So it's always tough to follow somebody that's been successful, but I think he was sitting next to him for all 5 of those years, so I'm expecting good things to happen.
Absolutely. To beat Nevada, to have a chance on the fourth quarter against Nevada, what do you guys have to do?
Well, I think the strength of our team has to show up, and that's our offensive line. They got to show up, and if they show up and they can block the line of scrimmage and we can maintain the football and not fumble the football, I think football possession is going to be important, and end up in the end zone a few times, then I think that we can give ourselves a chance in the fourth quarter. I think keeping our defense off the field will be a good thing. They have 9 returning starters on offense. They've hired a new coordinator who we coached against last year when he was at Montana State, so we feel like we have a little bit of a feel for what he's going to do. But he causes us some problems, especially early in the season with all the tomfoolery he kind of does with motions and shifts and all that great stuff. So we've prepared hard for it, but game one, we got to play good eyes on defense, and we got to control the line of scrimmage on offense.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.